Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're asking something, well, pretty fundamental. Can you really build a massive business empire, not just on ambition, but actually on trust, on quiet dignity?
It seems almost counterintuitive in today's world, doesn't it?
It really does. And that's why we're digging into the life of Ratan Tata. His name is basically synonymous with ethical leadership, a really different way of doing business. Our exploration today, it draws from insights in Ratan Tata, architect of trust and ethical leadership. And our goal really is to unpack how he built this incredible legacy of trust, how he kind of went against the grain, defied norms.
And what you listening can take away from it all.
Exactly. This isn't just his life story. It's more like looking at a blueprint, maybe, for a different kind of capitalism, one with morals, with lasting impact.
And it's why this is so important for you. I mean, we live in a world that's often just focused on quick wins, loud voices.
Yeah, the loudest person in the room often gets the attention.
Right. But Ratan Tata, he offers this refreshing, almost opposite path to success and contribution to society, too. We're hoping to uncover some surprising things, maybe give you a few aha moments about leadership, about resilience.
And about building something that genuinely lasts.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's kick things off at the beginning. Ratan Tata, born December 28th, 1937, in Bombay, into the Tata family.
And we need to stress, this wasn't just any wealthy family. This is the lineage that built India's first steel mill, its first hydroelectric plant, its first five-star hotel.
Foundational stuff for modern India. Really foundational.
Absolutely. But, despite being born into all that privilege, his early life wasn't simple. It wasn't a fairy tale. His father, Naval Tata, was actually adopted into the main Tata family line by Lady Navajbai Tata.
Right, so that adoption dynamic is interesting.
It is. It meant Ratan grew up in a context where the family identity was maybe less about just status and more about, well, service, contribution. That was core.
And then there were personal challenges, too. His parents separated when he was only 10. That must have been tough.
Deeply traumatic, by all accounts. He and his younger brother, Jimmy, they were then raised primarily by their grandmother, Lady Navajbai.
And she sounds like she was a huge influence.
Immense. From her, he seemed to pick up these core values. Discipline, not just comfort. Service, not entitlement. Grace, not pride.
And apparently, even as a kid, he wasn't into showing off, avoided using the family name.
Yeah, disliked grandstanding, didn't want to leverage the name for influence. It's fascinating when you think about it, how those early lessons, even in a privileged setting, can just embed values that shape an entire life, an entire leadership style. Makes you wonder how your own early experiences shape things, right?
Definitely. Okay, so moving on from his childhood, here's something that genuinely surprised me. Ratan Tata studied architecture at Cornell.
Right. Not business, architecture. He even said himself, I never wanted to be a businessman. I wanted to be an architect.
So how does an architect end up running one of the world's biggest conglomerates?
Well, that creative background, the architectural thinking, it seems it actually gave him a unique edge in design, obviously, but also in structuring things, in problem solving, thinking about systems.
That makes sense. A different lens.
Exactly. And he did later add the business side, the advanced management program at Harvard Business School. So he got that strategic foundation too.
But it started with design.
It did. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How these seemingly unrelated backgrounds can actually give you a hidden advantage later on.
Yeah, that diverse experience point is key. And it connects to how he actually started at Tata Group in the 60s. Not in some cushy office.
No, not at all. He started as a trainee at Tata Steel in Jamshedpur.
On the factory floor, shoveling limestone, handling machinery, living with the workers.
And the key thing here is this wasn't just for show. It wasn't symbolic. He was genuinely there, doing the work, earning respect.
Not demanding it because of his name.
Precisely. You contrast that with other heirs, maybe heading straight for the boardroom. Ratan chose the ground level. He wanted that deep, practical understanding.
Which must have given him incredible insight later on.
Absolutely. That power of hands-on experience, humility. Really getting the organization from the bottom up. It tells you a lot.
So this groundwork, this deep understanding, it obviously paid off because in 1991, the big moment comes. J.R.D. Tata, a legend in his own right.
A titan of Indian industry.
He handpicks Ratan to succeed him as chairman.
And you have to understand, the situation Ratan inherited, it was challenging. The Tata Group then was this loose collection, over 100 companies.
Wow, over 100.
Yeah, and many were run like separate fiefdoms, family businesses almost.
Yeah.
Resistant to change, resistant to central control.
And the old guard wasn't convinced about Ratan.
Not at all.
Yeah.
There were lots of doubts, whispers like, oh, he's too soft. He's not JRD. He can't possibly control this sprawling group. They really underestimated him.
Well, here's where it gets really interesting. How did he take control? How did he reshape things?
He thought, but with focus, not force. Quiet strategic revolution is a good way to put it.
Okay, break that down. What were the strategic actions?
Well, it wasn't overnight. But systematically, he worked to streamline things, bring those disparate companies more firmly under the Tata Sons umbrella.
Centralizing, consolidating.
Right. He introduced common Tata branding, which sounds simple, but was huge for cohesion. He pushed to professionalize the boards, reduce that old family favoritism.
Making it more merit-based.
Exactly. And crucially, he made innovation and globalization core strategies for the entire group, not just pockets here and there.
It really shows that leadership isn't always about, banging the table.
Not at all. Sometimes that quiet strategic resolve, that clear vision, executed patiently, that's what transforms an empire. It's a masterclass in change management, really.
And that strategic patience, that methodical approach, it laid the groundwork for some incredibly bold moves later on, didn't it? The really big decisions.
Oh, absolutely. Monumental decisions. You think about Tata Consultancy Services, TCS.
Right, the IT giant.
He backed it heavily, early on, pushed it to go global. And look at it now. India's biggest IT firm, a global powerhouse. It's arguably the financial engine of the modern Tata Group.
Huge. And then there's Jaguar-Land Rover, JLR, in 2008.
Oh, yeah, buying it from Ford, right in the middle of the global financial crisis.
People must have thought he was crazy.
Widely scoffed at. Why is Tata, the truck and steel guys, buying a luxury car brand? That was the reaction.
But it worked spectacularly well.
Astonishing turnaround. Within a year, it was profitable. Ford CEO even admitted, you're doing more for Jaguar than we ever could.
What was the key there? How did he turn it around so fast?
It seems a lot of it was about empowerment. He trusted the existing British management, the design teams, gave them back autonomy, restored their pride, didn't just impose the Tata way. He helped them rediscover their way.
Fascinating. And then the Tata Nano, the people's car.
Ah, the Nano. Such a different kind of bet. His inspiration reportedly was seeing a whole family, 4 people, crammed onto a single scooter in the rain.
Dangerous, unsafe.
Exactly. And he asked himself, can I make a safe car for just 1 lakh rupees? By $2,000 then.
An incredible ambition. It didn't quite succeed commercially, though.
No, it faced challenges. Marketing, perception. Being labeled the cheapest car wasn't maybe the best angle, rather than most affordable safe car. But the intent behind it.
That was different.
It was about national service. Addressing a real need, not just dominating a market segment.
So you see this blend in his big moves. Vision, definitely risk-taking, but also this thread of social conscience.
Absolutely. It really makes you ask, when does a business decision become less about just profit and more about purpose? It takes real audacity, real foresight. What risks are you willing to take for something bigger than the next quarter's results?
That character you mentioned, the ethical core, it really shines through in crises, like the horrific 26/11 Mumbai attacks in 2008. The Taj Mahal Palace Hotel, a Tata icon, was devastated.
His response then? It was remarkable. Not just corporate statements. He personally visited victims. He made sure all staff, even those tragically killed, continued to receive salaries indefinitely.
Indefinitely, wow.
Yes. Took full responsibility for guests, supported families for years, and famously refused to lay off a single employee because of the attacks.
That goes way beyond standard corporate practice.
Way beyond. It wasn't PR. As the source material puts it, this was character, revealed under the most intense pressure.
And you see echoes of that more recently, right? When Air India came back to Tata ownership in 2022.
Mm-hmm. His reaction, a simple 3-word post online. Welcome back, Air India.
No big fanfare, no ego.
Just quiet dignity, acknowledging the history, the significant. It shows, doesn't it? A leader's true colors aren't just in the wins, but how they handle the absolute toughest moments. How do you define character in leadership, and what impact does that have on trust?
It builds immense trust, surely. Now, beyond the leader, let's talk about the man. Ratan Tata himself. His personal life seems defined by, well, humility, sacrifice even.
It really does. He never married, for instance.
Right. There was that story about him being in love when he was studying in the U.S.
Yes. But he had to return to India. Family illness. By the time he could go back, she had married someone else. And his response was quiet acceptance. Choosing, as one source said, silence over regret.
And his lifestyle reflects that too, doesn't it? No ostentation.
Not at all. Lives in a relatively modest flat in Mumbai. Often drove himself. You might see him just sitting quietly on a bench at the office or walking his dogs alone.
No flashy mansions, not chasing billionaire rankings.
Doesn't flaunt the power he clearly wields. It's quite something. It makes you reflect, what does it mean to live with that kind of humility, that quiet sacrifice, especially when you have access to immense wealth and influence?
And that sense of service, it didn't just stay personal. It flowed directly into massive philanthropic work through the Tata Trusts.
Monumental work, really. Under his guidance, the trusts have poured billions into critical areas.
Billions into things like
Cancer care, building hospitals, rural education, sanitation projects, scholarships for students who could never otherwise afford higher education, huge COVID-19 relief efforts, over 500 crore rupees, clean water, women's health in remote tribal areas. The list is long.
It's incredibly wide-ranging.
And deeply impactful. He put it very powerfully once. I don't believe in leaving money behind. I believe in leaving a better world.
That quote really says it all, doesn't it?
It does. It underlines that idea that a true legacy, a lasting legacy, it goes so far beyond the balance sheet. What kind of world are you trying to leave behind?
Which brings us nicely to his overall mindset, his philosophy, sometimes called his Billionaire Soch, his way of thinking.
Yeah, and the key is that Billionaire Soch, for him, it wasn't about the money itself.
It was about
Prioritizing trust. Trust over transactions. Compassion over just competition. And purpose over pure profit.
He could have just been another very rich industrialist.
Easily. Focused only on accumulation. But he chose a different path. To be a nation builder. A leader of quiet strength. An example, really, of moral capitalism in action.
And today, that name Tata, especially in India, it stands for something more than just products, right?
Oh, definitely. It means honesty. It means safety. It means trust. National pride, even.
And that reputation, that immense goodwill, it didn't just come from clever ads.
Not at all. It came directly from him. From Ratan Tata's actions, his character, his consistency over decades. He was never the loudest voice.
But his impact is everywhere.
Everywhere. From the steel in bridges to the salt on your table, as they say. It's just a powerful reminder, isn't it? That real, lasting impact doesn't always come from shouting the loudest. Often it comes from being the most authentic, the most trustworthy.
What an incredible journey we've covered. Just seeing how that unique mix, ethical leadership, real humility, sharp strategic vision, how it all came together to build this empire. An empire literally founded on trust.
And that quote from the source material really nails it. If you want to build an empire, build trust first.
Build trust first.
So the question for you listening is maybe twofold. First, what does building trust first actually mean in your own life, your own work, your ambitions?
Good question.
And second, how might genuinely pursuing purpose over profit change what success even looks like for you? Fundamentally reshape it.
Powerful thoughts to end on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the life and legacy of Ratan Tata.
We hope it gave you something to think about.
Definitely. We encourage you to reflect on these principles, ethical leadership, quiet strength, building trust, and what they mean in our world today. Thanks for listening.